Okay, you guys, so I finally have some numbers for you. So let's roll that intro, which is new, by the way. So let me know how you like it and get right into my 2022 goal review video. Hey guys, it's me, Kay, and you've arrived in my weird little corner of the internet. Welcome. If you're new here, I'm a part-time reseller, mostly on eBay and Poshmark, though I do sell on Mercari and Depop and locally at an antique mall. And I do all this so that my daughter and I can travel the world. That's our passion. That's what we like to do. So I do this on the side to supplement my full-time income. And this, like I said in the intro, is my recap for 2022 and the goals that I set to accomplish that year. Spoiler alert, definitely didn't accomplish them all, but that's totally fine. I don't expect to. I just really look forward to setting these goals at the beginning of every year and seeing how things progress. I am happy to say that I did have a lot of growth in my resale business, which is always great. So let's get started. I set SMART goals. It's something I learned at my job several years ago. We had optional training that we could go through to learn about SMART goal setting. So SMART stands for specific, measurable, achievable or attainable, realistic, and time-bound. I set 12 goals for the year 2022 in 3 categories, so 4 in each. Those categories are business, personal, and financial, and let's get right into it with the business category. So in business, I completed 2 out of 4. The first one, and these are in no particular order, just how I wrote them down at the time. The first one is to profit $25,000 from resale. In 2021, I did about $22,000 and change, and I'm happy to say that I hit that. So these numbers are from 12/31/2022, and I was at $25,549.08. Now this is net profit, so my gross sales minus any platform fees and minus my cost of goods. It doesn't include any supplies that I may purchase, you know, like poly mailers, tape, those kind of things. It doesn't include anything that I squirrel away for tax time, which regretfully we're in right now. But I don't have any overhead. I store everything on site. I'm a one-woman show, so I don't have any employees except sometimes if my daughter wants money to buy stuff, I let her work for me and I pay her an hourly wage. But yeah, that's just net profit. If I add in my YouTube revenue and my Instagram reels, I'm at $26,300.95. Really happy with that. If you watch my 2023 goal announcement, I guess you could say, video, if not I will link it, but in that one I said that I wanted to do 30,000 all inclusive of resale, YouTube, Instagram, any other potential side hustle, if you want to call it that. It feels like a full-time job sometimes, so it's weird to call it a side hustle, but in any case, any of those outside of my normal full-time job income, I want to hit 30K. Next was to earn $500 on YouTube. Did not hit that, but to be fair, 2022 was my first full year rather, of being monetized on YouTube. So I got monetized in the middle of November of 2021. And then I did Vlogmas, the extended Vlogmas, just like I did in 2022 that year. And I got $74.96 just from that month, that December month where I posted a video every single day. So I was kind of expecting to make at least that much this year, and I didn't. I think I made $53 or so in December of 2022. I don't know, I had less views this year, 400 less views, but 50 more watch hours. So I don't know, I guess that translated into like $20 less in YouTube world, but that's fine. I ended with $470.55 just to sit here and put out a couple videos a week. I mean, not including December where I did every day, to sit here and talk to you guys. So I'm happy with that. I like to have multiple revenue streams. Next was to hit 2,000 subscribers on YouTube. I did not hit that, but that was totally fine. It seems like on YouTube, not to throw any shade, but this is the reality, clickbait titles get the viewers. I'm not good at that. I can't even make good titles. I struggle with making titles on YouTube. I struggle with thumbnails. It's something that's wildly out of my comfort zone, and that's kind of why I started YouTube in the first place. It was never to make money. It was just to broaden my horizons and do something that challenged me. So I ended with 1,621 subscribers, and I love and appreciate every single one of you. I haven't grown too much since then. It's been, you know, I mean, we're at the tail end of January right now when this video is coming out, and I'm still in the 1,600 range. So again, slow growth. I'm totally fine with that. I do have a 2,500 sub goal for this year, so we'll see if I hit that. If we don't, not a big deal. I'm just happy to be here and, you know, putting video content out there and hoping that it helps some of you out there. The last one under business was to make a $300+ sale. So if you've been following me for any amount of time, I've probably said a billion times, and you guys are sick of it already, that my biggest sale ever in my career in 2021 was a $250 plush sale. I sold a Build-A-Bear plush. Yes, it sold for that amount, and then it got shipped to Canada through eBay, so they also paid like $50 extra for shipping, so they spent $300 on a plush. But that was my highest sale to date, so I wanted to beat that in 2022. So I put that number at 300, and I did sell on 9/3, which I believe was Labor Day weekend, a Canada Goose jacket for $400. Yes, I undercut myself. I had it listed for $800, ran a 50% off sale. I have a very small house and a very small shed, which is where most of my inventory was stored. And this jacket was so bulky. It didn't really fit in any of my totes in my shed, and so I kept it in my laundry room, and it was just hanging there, and so I saw it literally every day. And I got tired of looking at it. So I sent a 50% off offer, and someone accepted. So yes, I could have got more money, but it came in a ThredUp box, and I paid $35 for it. So turning $35 into $400, I'm really happy about that. Let's move on into personal. Again, I have a 50% success rate in the personal category. The first one I did complete though. It was to read all 7 Harry Potter books. I grew up reading the Harry Potter books. They came out when I was right about the age that Harry was, you know, getting his Hogwarts letter and going to school for the first time. And I really identified with that at the time. It helped me through a really, really rough time in my life. So I've kind of held on to that since then. And even though I don't really like the author anymore, I still enjoy the series, so I have to kind of separate the two. And I wanted to read them again because surprisingly, I've only actually read the series completely all the way through once. I had read Deathly Hallows an additional time. Since then, I've seen the movies thousands of times probably at this point, to be honest. And so I really wanted to just do it again. I had only read 4 by the end of Q3 because I had actually read the first 4 before February. So I read the first 4 in the month of January last year, and then I took a break. You know, I am a single parent, that's first and foremost. I work full time, I do YouTube, I do Instagram, I do reselling. It's a lot. I like to travel, so trying to find time to sit down and read doesn't always happen, but I powered through and I got those last 3 done in December, and those are the biggest ones, so they were the most difficult to get through. And then after I read each book, before I started the next one, I would watch the movie and kind of do like a compare and contrast between the books and the movies. And I knew that the movies missed out on so many things, but I didn't realize just how much really great content is in the books that they don't even talk about in the movie or address at all. And I mean, I know that that has to happen. You're trying to put like 800 pages into a 2-hour movie, so things are going to be left out. But yes, I am happy to say that I completed that goal. Next was purchase a tiny home on wheels. So my ultimate goal, you know, when I'm older, if I don't become an expat and live somewhere that's not the US, is to live in a van of some kind and travel around the States and thrift or just go see sites, whatever. But I've put that on hold because I realized when I set this that it was probably unrealistic. And you know, one of the SMART goals, as we just talked about a few minutes ago, is realistic. I don't have a garage or any kind of place where I can store a vehicle. I live in the Northeast. I have no idea how to winterize a vehicle that's not gonna get used at that time of year. So I have a lot of things working against me there. So I put that on pause pretty early on in 2022. And yeah, I'm not even gonna think about that for another several years. The next one I did complete within the first month of the year. So it was to go 1 month without ginger ale. I don't drink alcohol, I don't smoke, I don't do any of that stuff. So my one vice besides like sweets and snacks is ginger ale. And I love it. So I started on January 1st and I went into like the first week of February, and then I started again, and then by the end of last year around the holidays I was drinking like 5 or 6 per week. And when you work a mostly sedentary job and you don't really work out, which is a goal for 2023, again if you haven't watched that video, it's not a good combination. So I started again on January 1st of this year, and I'm hoping to go 3 months this time, and I'm hoping that it just continues indefinitely after that, and I'll just have it on like rare occasion. But yeah, so I did that within the first month of the year. And then the last one is also incomplete. It's to leave my full-time job. There was a time towards the end of the year, I think I talked about it in a thrift haul, where I thought I might lose my job and then I'd end up going full-time. It hasn't happened yet. I'm still there and I'm still miserable, and we're going on 18 years. I am still applying at jobs, so we'll see. Maybe something will come through this year and I'll be able to move forward and away from something that makes me really unhappy. So yeah, don't recommend staying in a job that doesn't serve you, if that makes sense. So let's move on to the final category, which is financial. This one I'm roughly 75% complete, so 3 out of 4. Let's talk about why. The first one is to make 2 extra mortgage payments. So this is something that I started to do when I first purchased my home. I purchased it in the smack in the middle of 2020, right after the panini started. So yeah, I just, even though I don't plan on staying here for 30 years, when I do want to move, I want to have more money in my pocket. So why not contribute more towards my loan while I have the means to do so, if that makes sense. So that way when I do go to sell this home, I can have more equity, and then that makes more money in my pocket, so that I can move into something else. At this point, Liv is highly considering moving way across the country to literally the West Coast, California, potentially. So a cross-country move is expensive, and B, I want to have enough funds so that I can move out there, maybe fly out there a few times, try and find a place for us, whether that's a house or an apartment. So that's a lot of work. It's a lot of stress, because yes, I will follow her out there. I'm not ready. Even in 4 years time, I will not be ready to just have her on the opposite coast of the world. So I will follow her. But anyway, that's a story for another day. But I did make the second payment. I had made the first one on June 30th, and I made the second one on November 7th. I try to split them out, so one is in the first half of the year and one's in the second half, just so I have more fluid funds to move around, if that makes sense. Next was to continue with my 2 savings goals that I had started in 2021. If you're new to my channel, I have 2 separate savings accounts for these 2 goals. The first one is a 26 paycheck challenge, if you will. So I get paid bi-weekly at my job. So basically the idea is to start with $5 on the first paycheck. You deposit that into the account, and then you increase by $5 every pay period. So 26 pay periods at the end of the year, your last deposit should be $130, and then you should have roughly $1,700 plus interest at the end of the year. It's just nice to have like some extra funds left over besides what I save normally from my income. And yeah, I really like it. So I continued it in 2022, though I did it in reverse. I started with the $130 and ended with the $5. That way around the holiday season, I had less money outgoing. And the other one is what I call a Thursday temperature savings. And basically every Thursday, which today is Thursday, I go onto my weather app. at the same time every day. I have an alarm set on my phone. It's 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and wherever I happen to be at in the world, I will look at the temperature at that moment and then translate that into a dollar amount. So like I said, today is Thursday at 1 o'clock. I looked at my weather app. It was 44 degrees where I was, so I put $44 into that savings account. In 2021, from doing this, I had just under $3,000. I had like $2,900 and change, and I really wanted to hit that 3,000 mark. Not that I have any control of it, it's the weather. But this year I ended up with $3,135.63. There were the same amount of Thursdays between 2021 and 2022. I did calculate that just to make sure, because I didn't know if maybe there was 1 or 2 extra or less or whatever, but they were the same amount in 2021 and 2022. And yeah, I'm continuing that going forward into this year as well. And then what I do at the end of the year, on the first of the year, once the interest from the previous month gets deposited, I pull all that money and bring it into my main savings account. The next one is the reason why it's not 100% complete. It was to reduce my student loan debt to $5,000. By the end of Q3, I had reduced it to $9,500. My original balance was like $20,000, something like that. And yeah, so I wanted to get it down to $5,000. And then Biden made that announcement that he had approved student loan forgiveness, and I would have qualified for $20,000 because I had received a Pell Grant in the past. And so I went on to my account, I called the loan servicer, and I requested a refund, which is something you can still do if that helps you. I requested a refund for all of the payments I had made since the student loan forbearance went into effect in March of 2020 for COVID. And I got all that money back. So my loan balance is back up there to almost $20,000 because I was counting on that money. And then things hit the fan, and so it's still undecided whether that's actually going to happen or not. So I put a pause on this goal. I have the money today to hit a button on my account and pay off the whole balance in full and have it zero. Big goose egg. But I don't want to do that, because if the government's gonna give me money, I want to take advantage of it, because 1, I feel like I deserve it, and 2, that's a large chunk of money that I could have to allocate to different things. Don't come for me in the comments. That's, you know, it's free money. If I can get money for free, then I'm going to take it. So I don't quite know. It's still up in the air. It depends on how things go when it moves through the court system. But the loans are still in forbearance right now anyway, so I'm not having to make a payment. So I guess if it falls through and we go back to monthly payments, I think it's like $225 a month that I pay. I'll have to revisit and see what happens with that. But yeah, so right now it's on hold. And then the last one is to invest 10% of my reselling income. I'm a complete noob when it comes to finances and investments. I don't have any idea what I'm doing, but I am happy to share. If you want to reach out to me, I will tell you what I personally am doing. It's not financial advice. Take it with a grain of salt, but I will at least tell you what I do. So in that investment account at the end of the year, I had $2,620.83. So 10% of my net profit would have been $2,554.91 if I round up the cents. So it's up a little bit, which I guess is better than it being down. I would love to have it be more, but the economy is what it is. So that's where it was at the end of the year. And this year my goal is a little bit higher. I think I said I want to do 20% of my reselling income. It's going to go in that same account, so I will keep you guys posted on how that progresses in 2023. But that's it for my goals video. Like I said, I don't plan on getting everything accomplished. It's just nice to have something to, you know, kind of strive towards. But let me know in the comments down below how your goals for the last year went. Did you set any? Did you achieve some? Did you let some fall to the wayside like I did? let me know. I love to hear that. I think it's really helpful to, you know, kind of talk about those things, and especially so when it comes to money, because people don't like to talk about money. It's like a taboo subject. I love to talk about that stuff. I love to talk about people's successes in their personal lives. So reach out to me personally if you don't want to, you know, put that in a public comment. I'm always available on Instagram to have a chat. Do so, please. I would love it. It's like, you know, I don't really talk to many people because I live by myself and with Liv, who is in school, so I don't really have much adult interaction, if that makes sense. So yeah, that's it for this video. If you enjoyed it at any point, please give it a big thumbs up. It really helps me out here on YouTube to know what type of content you enjoy seeing from me. And if you're not already subscribed, please consider subscribing. I'd love to have you here on my weird little family on the internet, and I hope to see you next time. Bye guys.